My name is Rico, the Dungeon Master for Season 3, the restoration of the 12 Olympians. This season, we'll find our heroes traveling back to the lands of Eris and Enyo within Harmonia as they adventure through and see what they have accomplished and completed by restoring the 3 fabled relics, the Sickle of Kronos, the Golden Apple of Discord, and the Robe and Necklace of Harmonia. We'll start with Deborah.
I am Deborah, and I am playing a human rogue named Neith. Her name is Neith.
And I'm Matt, playing a dragonborn monk named Ari Futan.
And I'm Daphne, and I play Gilcyra Venfire, who is a halfling druid.
And my name is Rico. I am the Dungeon Master for Season 3 of the campaign. Guys, it's 11:30. We should probably do a Deborah's Diary.
Who's ready for Verdbread Diary?
Vedbread.
Verde.
Salsa verde. That green shit, it's delicious.
Who's ready for
Deborah's Diary?
Dear Diary, I'm having to have a lot of patience today.
Gotta take down those
Just
mini
pretend
bosses.
you're back at work.
The work never ends with me.
In our last episode, it really does. In our last episode, Martel just wants to spend 15 more minutes to sleep, but the party would not leave him alone. To the point of even dropping snow on his head. They do eventually get their horses together and everybody's off, and they go across the river.
Across it.
However, across the river does not look pleasant and is very different from the wonderful, lush, warm, but not too humid weather our heroes have been enjoying up until now. They cross the river and actually go through a barrier into what seems to be like winter with maybe ash in the air. And somehow everyone has hard dragon nibbles.
I'm glad that made it to the diary.
The path is even covered in ash.
I saw her writing it down.
And they find out that it's all created by a powerful necromancer that they are trying to kill. Gilcyra asks Cedric to scout ahead, and he disappears after 150 yards. They're able to catch up to him, and he seems to have appeared to age a couple years. Or a few years.
He's dead now.
And now he's got a wise old outlook going on.
They only lived like 12 years. I looked it up.
Although Cedric didn't really seem to understand what had happened. Our party sees some tents and camps ahead. And Ari even recognizes one of them from a fight that Pan had gotten into in the past.
I mentally record all of Pan's fights. Big fan.
They begin to ask if they could get through the barrier, and they find out that they can take these people through the barrier into a much warmer and lush land. And Ari feeds the people mushrooms, which on this side turn out to be awful.
On this side.
Vince figures out that magic is reversed here by trying to heal himself, but actually doing some pain and damage.
He's dead now.
Zatoichi and Twist and Fate are all glowing.
Having a good time.
Seem to be having a good time on this side. And we find out that healing hurts here. Vince's magnificent mansion, when brought out, turns inside out with its outside walls covered with skin and eyes and sinew and probably organs with blood dripping down. However, Gilcyra smells food and goes in anyway. Neat just leans against a tree. Vince and Martel go in. Karga begins to take up space as he grows. The bronze dragon is now a black dragon with silver scales around his eyes. The cold air is moved by his newly enlarged wings. And he snarfs down 30 Yeah, 30 pounds of jerky.
Eat up, son.
Martel wants to really ride him, but Karga only agrees if he gives him more food. Let's see if our players can make any headway in getting to their actual goal in this episode of Some Would Play.
That was a really good diary.
Thanks.
That was a really good diary. Well done.
Thank y'all.
So the next day dawns. You guys have had your long rest. Everybody is feeling a lot better. Everybody has eaten. Everybody has slept. Everybody has rested. The outside still looks the same. It has gotten a couple degrees colder. It's now 50 degrees instead of 52.
Ah, fuck.
But it is still raining ash. Actually, skin cells and flesh.
Yes, sir.
And Martel is the first one out of the mansion, trying to figure out how he's going to hop on Karga's back.
This fucking guy.
As Karga is now bigger than he once was, and bigger than Martel's spectral dragon mount. So he's walking around Karga in circles, trying to figure out the best way to approach to get on the back of the dragon. And Karga is not giving him any help or insight, and is amused by how confused Martel is. Martel steps back about 10 feet from Karga, and then runs full speed to try and jump on his back. And Karga moves out of the way quickly and dexterously as Martel face plants into a pile of ash. And Karga has a good laugh at him. And Martel has a good laugh at himself. And then he just comes out and asks, "How do I get on your back?" And Karga replies, "You could just ask." And Martel sits up and shakes the skin and skin cells off of his face. And then just asks, "Hey, buddy, can you help me get up on your back?" And then Karga puts out one claw and lifts Martel up like a elephant lifting something up with their trunk, to put on his back. And then Martel is now sitting on the back of Karga, beaming proudly because he is a dragonborn on a juvenile black dragon. He feels like he's king of the world right now. This world of shit and undeath, but he still feels like he's king of the world. Yeah, it's very much on the back of the luck dragon. Very much the never-ending story.
I'm glad you picked up on that.
Yay!
And he realizes he doesn't have any reins or anything to hold on to, so he just...
Good luck, Chuck.
takes his big Martel takes his big hands and grips whatever he can on Karga, like scales and loose skin, and just holds on. Doesn't seem to have any adverse effect on Karga.
Dope.
And so Martel seems like he's ready to rock and roll.
Going for a ride. Okay. I'm going to wake up and probably see that happening and just watch. Have a good time.
Yeah, laughs are had.
Neath giggles.
And Martel points and says, "Onward to Sklovari, if you guys are ready to go."
All right.
I get on my horse.
I feed my horse and get on my horse.
What do you feed your horse?
It's a carrots and apple. Rough. It's going to taste terrible. It might taste terrible. I have regular carrots and apples and stuff. Does
Sweet.
it taste terrible?
It tastes like regular carrots and apples.
Helza. Enjoy, Anos.
And
I'll say
Anos does enjoy it very much.
I'm going to hold
Loves
back on
carrots
giving
and
him
apples.
mushrooms. I tell him, even though he can't understand me probably, I can't give you any of the mushrooms right now. They taste like shit.
He's just very happy to be eating anything, really. But carrots and apples taste good.
Cool. Ta-ha!
Non-magic food would taste like regular food, probably.
It's a good thing I have some food for him. I need to make sure I
So
keep
far,
stocked of food
the
for Anos.
magic mushrooms had their magic twisted and tasted terrible. The original ambrosia had its magic twisted and tasted terrible. But normal mundane food just tasted like carrots and apples.
Cool. This works out great for me because I don't need food, so I can just
You don't have to eat.
stock up some food for Anos. Gotta make sure I get some more Anos food at some point. Not anytime soon. We're good for now, but
Vince, did you have a horse?
gotta keep it in my head.
Yes, I got one of the horses
Okay.
when we went into town.
That's right. Good deal. So it's only about a 2.5, 3 hour ride to Sklovari.
Cool. Clop, 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 clop.
You guys are approaching Sklovare, and you see a bunch of people outside of the gate just meandering around, like walking around in circles.
I slow down.
Some of them look like their cheeks are sunken in. They look like a lot of the color in their skin has vanished. Some of them don't look like they have any light left in their eyes, but they're just walking around mindlessly and aimlessly. You hear groans every once in a while from off in the distance, but there's probably about 4 or 5 people just meandering in circles outside of the gate of Sklovari.
Just 4 or 5?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just 4 or 5.
How far away are they?
From the gate?
Mm-hmm.
They're in 10-foot increments, so about 50 feet away from the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's one, 10 feet, there's another one, 10 feet, there's another one.
Spread out a little.
Yeah, they're spread out a little bit, yeah.
All right, so we can't nuke them from orbit.
Ari, do you think we could pass without trace and and sneak past them?
Oh, yeah, that could definitely probably work.
Maybe we should do that.
Okay. I'll go ahead and pass without trace us.
Okay.
Plus 10 on
What's the radius on that? 30 feet, right?
30 feet.
30
yeah.
feet?
Everybody, stay close to me, within 30 feet. We're going to pass without trace so we could just get past these shambling weirdos.
I'm not even going to bother rolling perception. Undead have shit perception. They're not even going to, their passive perception wouldn't touch your base stealth with pass without trace.
So as we pass them, do we notice them as being undead, zombie-ish bitches, whoremongers, ladies of the evening?
As my dad would.
Who has
call
had
them.
experience in this party with undead in the past?
Martel.
We all have, because we were partied with a lich for a while.
I learned don't try to shoot an arrow at a skeleton.
Our cleric was lichy.
So, a couple of you are familiar with the curse of undeath on these people, yes.
I pull out my warhammer.
You don't get XP for, well,
What?
we could kill these things.
You don't need to. You're passed without trace. They don't even notice you guys.
I know.
I get my Hephaestus longbow out and I just have it ready just in case.
Okay, so we're past without trace. Where are we going?
Is the gate open?
Gate's open.
Dope. All right, guys, let's go. I think we should go in there, look for a crypt. You know, like we heard from Hades that there might be a crypt maybe that we could explore to find this altar of horribleness or whatever.
Oh, I wanted to run my horse and take my warhammer and just be like, bam, 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 with a bunch of heads.
Like they were mailbox.
Yeah.
Are they in a line? Can she do?
No, they're walking back and forth.
Don't worry,
I would have made it work.
Don't worry, Neith, you'll get your chance to do that.
All right, let's just sneak
I
in.
do
then.
it on the way out.
They don't notice you guys. So
All right.
Sklovari looks like Sklovari the way it did before. There's the gate into the city and then steps that go down. Buildings on the left, buildings on the right. You can hear a hollow chiming deeper into the city. Sounds like a church bell that is just listlessly blowing because of the breeze and the wind and the howling undeath in the air above in the sky.
Ooh, maybe we should. Hey guys, I think we should go towards that chiming sound because it sounds like a religious temple place.
I was just thinking I could use Mage Hand and make the bell ring.
Oh, that could be interesting.
But I think before we do that, we should be someplace of some better strategic value.
Oh, so are you thinking you could make the bell ring and then cause all the undead people to go towards the bell?
What I suspect.
Wait, the bell's ringing right now, right?
But-
barely. Like it's like barely clanging against the side because of the wind.
Oh, so it's not
So it's
full
not like,
on.
yeah, it's not full on gonging.
Gong.
It's just like, boom.
I
And then
mean, I
pause.
think it would be fun to find out what would happen if we rang the bell.
You have a weird definition of fun.
And he just grins, her maniacal grin.
And Martel gets off a carga and he says, Hades said there may be a graveyard or a crypt or someplace that we should go look.
Yes. And stick close and we'll be passed without trace.
Okay. Can we ring the bell on the way out?
Do we look around? Yeah, let's ring the bell on the way out.
Okay, cool. And then I can go boom, 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 boom with heads, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to look around and see if I see like a church or a
Haven't killed
graveyard.
anything in a
You
while.
can hear it off in the distance from where you are in the city. You cannot see it yet, unless you were to go further into Sklovari.
All right, let's just keep going. No harm, no foul over here.
I follow them.
I'd like to actively be searching for signs that something was recently in the air, like on the path that we were going to. So like looking for footprints or ripped clothes, just signs that something was there recently.
Neith bored, so she's not paying attention.
Yeah, the ash has probably been falling long enough. Well, that's going to be the problem. Because the ash has been falling as long as it has been falling, you're not going to see any recent footsteps. They would have been covered with the ever constant falling ash. So no, to answer your question, no, nothing recent that you can see.
Okay, then let's go.
Cool. Let's keep walking towards
How long does Pass Without Trace last? Concentration, forever, right?
1 hour.
1 hour?
Yep.
It won't take you 1 hour to get to the church.
I did not think it would.
With Pass Without Trace, without you guys being detected and these being base regular undead, no one's going to perceive you guys. You guys can get to the church probably in about 20 minutes.
Cool. Let's go 20 minutes to church.
And you get to...
It did cost me 2 key, by the way. So
Okay, well, you've got plenty. You're
Yes,
fine.
yes.
You've got like 17 points a key or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not just magic pass without trace over here.
Yeah, you're fine.
What?
You guys make
Sure.
it to the church,
Dope.
and the church has a wrought iron fence that comes out from the sides of the church that goes around, comes out the front of the church around the sides. You can see headstones and a graveyard and stuff, and then the doors to the church are sealed, closed. I'm sorry, they're closed. You can see that the doors are closed. But the church stands there before you. There are meandering townsfolk walking around through the graveyard. You see little children that are sitting, like with their legs crossed, with their hands in their lap, like staring off into nothingness. Their cheeks are a little sunken in. Their eyes are without color. They're just like all white, like our eyes would be if we didn't have the color in our eyes. They're just all white,
Sure.
except for the pupil, which is black.
Are there windows in the church?
Yeah, there's stained glass windows, beautiful stained glass
And
windows.
they're still like
And they're still, they're still whole. They aren't shattered. The church on the outside looks a little weathered, but it looks whole and intact. The roof is intact. The steeple hasn't fallen over. On the outside of the church has seen better days, but isn't in any major disarray or disrepair.
All right, how many weirdos are just outside the door of the church?
There's probably 2 adult weirdos and probably 5 children weirdos sitting on the steps like every other step. Some facing away from you towards the front door, some looking to the sides, other looking to the sides, other looking to the front. It's like undead small children and a couple undead adults. The adults are wandering, the children are staring off into nothing.
Okay. I whisper to our team, I say, has anybody got any good ideas how to get into this church? Because I think if we open the door, we're going to get noticed.
I could turn us into clouds and we can go through
All
the
right.
window.
The window's not open. It's stained glass.
Why don't we take a quick perimeter check since we're being all stealthy anyway? I mean, that's
Sure.
what I would normally do on a job.
Yeah, let's walk around the church.
Just walk around the church and see what we see.
All right. Let's
See if
walk
we
around the
find
church.
any-
Do we see any ways into the church that would benefit from stealthiness, or do we see any like entrances to a crypt?
There are other entrances into the church. There are a couple side doors, but they're also closed.
Are there any people
Around
those
those
entrances?
Yes, there are a couple children, and there is one wandering, meandering adult.
I mean, even
There
if
Do
they're
are-
I
undead, they're still
see
kids.
any
That sucks.
light or anything coming from inside the church?
Yes, you can see candle glow from inside the windows.
Do I see any shadows moving inside the church?
No, you do not. Because these stained glass windows are colored, and they are beautiful and majestic, so you can't see through them.
Is there any entrance on the back of the church?
There is a back door.
Is
Nah.
there anybody around the back door?
A couple.
Okay, I go up to one of the stained glass windows and I check to see if they're the kind that will like swing in? Like, do they open?
They look like they would open. There are some wrought iron hinges that are up high on the windows, but the windows look like they swing out, not in.
What does the roof look like?
Probably a 35 to 40 degree angle.
Oh, wait a minute, guys.
What?
I have a door.
What?
Oh, is it like the patch thing that you can
Yeah,
like,
one of my
okay.
patches is an iron door.
You can just make a door?
I can just make a door.
Okay.
Okay, how much do we want to actually go into this church? Because,
Well,
I mean, the crypt's going to be under the church, right?
Yes.
I had an idea of casting prestidigitation and turning off the candles and seeing if something is upset by that and relights them.
Why don't we just knock on the door?
Well, if they're
Because we don't want to disturb the people. We don't want to mess with them right now.
Who said that, Martel?
Martel. Or
And
we
it-
could just try the door.
Yeah, let's try the door.
Which door are you trying?
All of them. The back door.
Let's go to the back door.
Let's knock on the back door.
Knocking on the back door.
Let us in.
Do we recognize any of the holy symbols? Would you like a religion roll for that one?
Hold on, I'm trying to remember what the predominant religion was here in Enyo.
It's Matism. They worship a mat.
Do the Enyo have a predominant religion, Deborah?
Nope.
They hate all religion equal.
No.
And
they
anything that has to deal with
don't.
like fighting and barbarism and
Barbarism.
I mean they were pretty much just like the Eris where it's just like they all had like their own little deities going on. So what's up to you?
Basically, I'm trying to see which deity this church would belong to and if I kind of knew the domain and like alignment, so on and so forth.
Well, fuck. I never ever thought about that, Vince.
Go ahead and just close that book.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
So, yes, there are holy symbols. They look like upside down omega symbols, not dissimilar from the symbol on Jelsira's patch.
Ooh.
Oh. Then I'm
Isn't
not
that
worried about
Ares?
it. Yeah, let's open the door.
Well, I think this may be Ares' rival, but I don't know who it is.
Wait, rival? I thought it looked like the one on your patch.
Well, yeah, but it's upside down.
Wait,
Well, everything here is upside down.
is it Aries symbol upside down or is it the same way?
Ares' symbol would be right side up, would be the omega symbol.
I don't think this is. I don't think this is for Ares. I think this maybe some deity that opposes Ares is what I think.
Maybe you should ask Aries.
Regardless, if they oppose Ares, wouldn't that make them like a peaceful deity?
More, or maybe another war deity.
Martel walks up to the
Hey!
meandering
NPC.
adult and grabs him by his head and tosses him over the fence. Just picks him up like rawr, throws to get rid of the wandering adult guard, and then walks up to the door and knocks on it. Doom, doom, doom. Little undead children turn to look at him, but they recognize that he is much bigger than they, so they don't do anything. They just look at him with their mouths slowly opening and like saliva and drool and teeth falling out of their mouths. And then a slide panel on the door opens, and inside is a older looking gentleman with gray hair and piercing blue eyes. And he says, "How can we help you?" And Martel says, "We need entry." And the older gentleman inside looks at Martel, looks him deeply into the eyes, sees the color in his scales, and slides the view panel shut. Then you guys hear large unlatching. Sounds like a big giant bar being removed as wood scrapes against metal. And then the door opens inward with a loud creaking and hurries you guys inwards into the church. I don't know what it is with doors and you guys. They're not elaborate traps. Just knock on a fucking door.
We just assume they're all traps.
Neath has. Thank you very much. 3 times, in fact.
It's not hard, guys.
It's
go
very
knock.
hard.
It's really not.
What
I
if we
promise doors
open-
are just doors.
What if we knock on a door and we all die from that? What if knocking
no,
on
there's
a door?
going to be a door door at some point.
See, that's the problem that all D&D players have. They've been so conditioned in the past, like, oh my God, there's a door. It's a trap. It's never going to open. How do we get through it?
Why do you want to open the door and then just something randomly attack us?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you couldn't open it. It was barred. So
Well, there you go. See? What was the point?
that's why you knock.
Knock.
We don't know who's going to answer.
All right, so we're in the church.
So-
Everybody else is dead.
You guys get into the church. Oh, White Claw, that's good shit. You guys get into the church,
Don't
and the old yes, please. And the door bar closes behind you guys, and the older gentleman opens the slide panel to look to see that you guys weren't followed, and he closes it, and he turns around, and he's like, "Oh, many blessings upon you guys. We have been boarded up in this church for what feels like ever. How did you guys get here?" And Martel says, we walked.
Yeah, we walked.
We walked in. And then he looks around. He's like, "Do you have a bigger door?" And the guy's like, "No. Why?" And he says, Martel says, "We have a juvenile dragon that I don't want to leave outside longer than I have to." And the guy's eyes get really, really big. He's like, "How do you have a dragon?" And Martel says, "Oh, it's Ari's pet."
Yeah, we're awesome.
And as you guys are looking around and you take notice, you see that there are probably about 30 to 42 people huddled in this church, men, women, and children. Looks like they've been surviving off of communion wine and bread and Eucharist, whatever they had in the church. Some of them look a little malnourished, but they all have color in their eyes.
They don't look undead.
They don't look undead. And you guys can feel a regular vibration or hum around the church.
I asked the man, I'm like, "Hey, is there a basement or a crypt?
There is.
Do you think you can show it to us?"
Yeah, we absolutely could, but it is filled with undead.
Oh, no problem.
Oh, well, we're kind of good at that sort of thing, so.
Yeah, so just lead the way
And
or show us where it's at, and we'll do the rest.
he makes his way to what would be the sermon pulpit of the church, and there is behind the pulpit a massive giant statue of a female representation of Ares.
A thing.
Looks like it could be Ares,
Nice.
but
Gender bent Aries.
a gender bent Ares, yeah.
Hmm.
And he says the entrance into the crypt is under this statue. A lot of the strongest of us have succumbed to undeath, so none of us here have been strong enough to push it back to provide entry into the crypt since they went outside to protect us. So if you guys are strong enough, you can just push it backwards and provide you entry into the crypt.
Hey, Martel, do you think you can push it?
And Martel cracks his knuckles and he says, "Easily, watch." And then he hunkers down, he puts his shoulder into the statue, and he begins to push with his shoulder. Doesn't move.
I go to help.
And then Ari does the same thing, and they push. And then there's a slight grating sound of stone against stone.
Come on, guys, help out.
I'll go help.
Okay, I go help too.
Neith rolls her eyes and puts one hand on it.
Unreal.
So everybody pushes on the statue, and it begins to slide. And as it slides all the way back, you hear a lock, and you are greeted by a large metal barred grate. And as soon as you guys let light into the crypt, you see hordes, and I mean like World War Z hordes of half-decayed zombies and a couple chittering skeletons, like reaching up through the grates, gnashing their teeth, and trying to get out of the grate, which is firmly
Hey.
locked.
Ari,
What up?
do you think those things would burn?
They might.
You want to like fire breath them?
Yeah.
Oh, I have an idea too.
Then you fire breath them. I can pick the lock.
Hey, before you do that, Mr. Cleric Man,
Yes?
do you have any? Is there any holy water? Do you have any holy water?
We did. We had to drink it to survive.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
As you do.
Do you by chance have a prayer wheel?
Couldn't you give them
No.
water to make holy water?
Okay.
I could give them water.
I thought I'd ask.
Well, if you give them the water, they have the cleric.
The cleric
Yeah.
can bless it.
Do you guys need some water? I can hook you up with some water. You got a bowl?
Oh, good idea, Vince.
Or a cup? Or many cups? Or any kind of container
fountain?
for water?
Yeah, there is a bowl back by the front door that can be filled with water.
Okay. I'm going to go fill that bowl with water.
And you successfully fill the bowl with water.
Is my thing empty? Or is still some in there?
No, there's still some in there. You trying to empty it?
Yeah.
Okay. You're able to empty it. So who else are going to the bowl with Ari?
I am.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else going to the bowl with Ari?
I will.
You are? Okay. Anybody else going to the bowl with Ari?
Guard
I'm
the-
going to keep
guard
an
the grate,
eye
yeah.
on these
Unreal.
undead. I've got my warhammer out, ready to bash anything that might seem to come out.
All right.
So-
And as you were standing there,
Oops.
Martel is grabbing arms that are coming up through the grates, and then he is praying to Hades momentarily and burning arms and appendages of zombies and skeletons just one at a time. Like they reach up to Gray, he grabs them. He's using lay on hands, and he is melting them one at a time. And he will do that for about 100 points of lay on hands to thin out the herd.
Cool. Can the priesto dude make the water holy?
Can any of you pray and make water holy?
I mean, I don't think that's an ability I have. I
You're a monk.
can't. That's not a
I don't know. That's the closest thing I think from any of us
think
for
more
being holy.
secular monk than religious monk.
You're not helping yourself in this
I
situation.
asked Ares. I talked to Ares out loud. I'm like, hey, Ares, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but who's that statue? What's the deity represented by that statue?
And then you're praying to Ares.
Mhm.
And as you're praying to Ares, there is a omega symbol that burns into the floor around the... What's the thing called that holds that holy water? The bowl.
The font?
Is that what it is? The font?
Mhm.
And behind in front of the font, between the font and the front door, is Ares. Except it's the Ares that looks like the Ares on the statue
The woman?
behind you.
Oh, hot.
And she looks at you, and she tilts her head to the side, and she says, I don't recognize you.
Oh, hi, I'm Josiah Venfire.
And she looks at your eye patch.
You want some baklava?
And then she looks at you, and she says, where are you from?
I'm from Beyond the Mist.
No, I mean, why do you have my symbol over your eye, but inverted?
Oh, do you know who Ares is?
Yes, I am very familiar with myself.
So I this is your other version, your doppelganger male version symbol, because in not this realm but the other realm, Harmonia,
Bizarro
the Eris realm, you're a dude man, bro.
Huh.
Sir.
and,
Yeah.
and you know me, and I'm your favorite.
So you're a scion of male me
Mm-hmm.
from Eris?
Mm-hmm.
That dude, man, bro.
Well, this is interesting. What gift did the other me bestow upon you?
He gave me this, or I guess he gave me this thing called Savage Attacker, where whenever I go to attack somebody, I get to attack him twice.
Well, you clearly haven't disappointed him, or you wouldn't be here, standing before me now.
Yeah, he seems like he likes me.
How can I assist you?
Well, so we're here. We want to get rid of that warlock jerk who's making this realm necromancer jerk who's making this realm not good. That's our long-term plan. Our short-term plan is to get into that crypt and destroy the power source, whatever source is cursing this Sklovari town.
So what's stopping you?
Well, I mean, I guess we could just go do it, but we're trying to be smart about it.
Okay. So what's your intent? What's your plan?
Well, do you think you could maybe bless this water, make it holy water, where it'll kill?
And she looks at the font, and she looks at the amount of water in the font, and then she looks over at Martel slowly burning undead. She says, "You're going to need way more water than this."
How much?
Probably a couple 100 gallons to fill the entire bottom of the crypt.
Do you think you can flood the crypt with holy water?
No, I can't. I don't create water.
Ari?
I can burn it with lava.
Oh, snap. Yeah. That'd be good.
But then you're going to run into the issue of having to wade through lava.
I mean,
What if we waited for the lava to cool and then the undead are just stuck in rock?
no,
That's
I
not
can,
a bad idea.
I can float.
Can
and
you
fly.
wade through hardened lava?
I mean, after it's really hardened, yes.
You can wade through it.
I can walk on
when
top
it's
of
rock.
You're going to walk on top of it under the church.
it after it's completely hardened.
You're a little too tall.
Oh. I look over at
Hey,
Gelsira.
Gelsira.
Hey,
Yeah.
Earthy can absolutely burrow through.
Oh, yeah, you have a thing that does that.
It's not a terrible plan. There's probably better plans. It's not the worst. We can make it work.
I don't know. What? I'm sorry. What's your name?
My name is Ares.
Ares. Okay. I wasn't sure if maybe you had a different name.
Are you listening?
Why would I have a different name?
So, I mean, do you have any ideas?
Get more water.
How much water did you say would be
A
again?
couple 100 gallons.
Couple 100 gallons. How many bowls we got?
Just the one?
Just one bowl.
The priest says just the one?
How did the town get water before? Surely there was a way to
There's
capture.
a well. Yeah.
Aha. Okay.
Are there hundreds of gallons of water in that well?
Oh, I'm sure.
Can
I'm
you bless
sure.
that water and we'll just keep pulling it up and pouring it on undead for
Or-
the next 16 to 24 hours?
Or just bless the whole well and the cistern.
Yeah, but then we got to pull the water up. Take many hours as we kill undead. But we can make it work. We can auto kill undead. I want to pee on some undead.
What?
They're already dead. Now they're undead. It's like being alive.
Is
but
there
worse.
a way where we can get the well inside of my mansion and then we would have servants that could just bring up the water and store it for us?
Just press to digitate it, and then we're good to go. Do you want us to just go fight the undead horde?
No. I like the well idea.
Could you bless the well and then your earth elemental break a path in between that would flood the floor
Probably.
into this crypt?
Well, I mean, he burrows through, it's earth glide, so he just sort of moves through the earth. I don't know that he makes tunnels, or it makes tunnels. Have a penis,
maybe.
so.
Ari, I may ask to borrow some of your special ambrosia because I could move the earth to make like a trench.
Okay.
Maybe that goes from the well to the grate.
To the crypt?
Mm-hmm.
It's a smart plan.
It's a really smart
I see
plan.
why he chose you. And then she says, "Yeah, I can bless the water in the well."
Oh.
And then she snaps both of her fingers, and spark and fire flash from the tips for just a moment. And she says, "It is done."
Thank you. Which way to
Well,
the well?
thanks, Ares.
And the cleric says, "The well is back towards the center of the town. If you can get through the men outside the front door, you could easily get to the well."
Oh, well, how much time has passed since I passed without trace?
5 or 10 minutes. Can't you just recast it?
I could recast it, but I never uncast it. So, I mean, we talk to people, they can see us
Oh,
because
that's
we're
true.
not
That's true.
making stealth rolls, but
Yeah.
I assume we could still potentially, because it's concentration and nobody's done anything
Yeah.
to me to lose the
Yeah,
concentration.
you've got enough time
of
to
it,
make it
so
to the well.
We could still just open the door, walk right on out. Zombie dude's like, what the fuck's happening?
It's a good plan. Go to the well. The water's been blessed.
All right, Jelly, let's go
Tunnel
to
or
that well.
burrow into the undercroft, and then flood the crypt or the undercroft with the blessed well water.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we go to the well. Jelly, you gonna make the trench?
And
or
Martell-
the thing?
Yells from behind him, "Take your time, guys. I've got all the time in the world." As you hear zombies wailing from their being charred to death from lay on hands.
Martell, I'm not sure if that was sarcastic or not, but I think there's a grate there they can't get past. So
Oh no, I'm just having fun killing them.
okay,
I wasn't being sarcastic. Take all the time you need. This is a blast for me.
great. Just making sure.
Like he's living for this shit right now.
You keep
Hordes
going
and
as
hordes
long as
of
you're having
undead.
fun.
Yep, and just lay on hands, just slowly, one at a time, just burn them to death with holy paladin magic.
Because if you're not having fun, you could just
Yeah,
stop,
exactly.
'cause
I mean, if you're not having fun, it's a job. If
They're
you
not
enjoy
going
it, it's a career.
All right, to the well. Jelly is looking for the spell card. Possibly does not exist, and we're having a great time. I just really think that the Earth Elemental, his glide doesn't actually.
I don't think it creates
It's
tunnels,
just
yeah.
he's able to move through solid rock and ground.
Hey Ari, can I drink some of your ambrosia?
Yes.
Okay.
I hand over the water skin of Gross. It looks different, so I'm not.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not the wrong
the
one.
water skin that Ares had. It's distinctively like darker black with the Hades symbol like emblazoned on the front. You won't mix it up with your replenishing water skin. All right, Jelsira, what is your master plan to dig a trench into the Undercroft?
I'm gonna cast Move Earth. So it has just a one action casting time. So I can choose an area no larger than 40 feet. So I can reshape the earth however I want to, and I like to make a trench.
40 feet?
Mm-hmm.
How far away is the
That
church?
is not going
It's
to get us to
probably
the
about
church.
200 feet to the
5
Undercroft under the
Oh.
ground from the well
Mm.
to the Undercroft is probably about 200 feet. Can't you just cast that spell at multiple times at different spell slots?
Well, it's a concentration spell.
Okay.
So
how
when you're
long does it take to cast?
It's just one action.
Oh. Okay.
So you make that like
So can't you
thinking
cast that
really hard look.
What level is that spell?
"Urgh."
It's a level 6 spell.
and you have up to 9 slots? So can't you cast it at level 6, cast it at level 7, cast it at level 8, cast it at level 9? You could cast that 4 times, and we would say each additional level adds an extra 10 feet of earth that you could move. So level 6 would be 40 feet, level 7 would be 50 feet, level 8 would be 60 feet, level 9 would be 70 feet. You could easily do that.
If the DM's allowing that, then yes.
No, that's how spells work.
well,
Do it.
well.
Don't argue with
Okay.
it. Okay.
Like, he
Stop.
has
Stop
spells.
going, Will.
He's got level 5 and 6 spells. He can cast them at higher levels to add additional effect.
Right.
When Martell and Pan cast their spells, like at a level 4 spell, but cast it at level 6, it has additional effects. So you can cast that same spell as a 6th level spell
Oh, I
slot,
know.
a 7th level, 8th level, 9th level. You'd get through there. You'd
Just
burn 4 spell slots to do it. And then you drink ambrosia and then you're refreshed.
The black ambrosia that.
Okay. Since the DM is allowing it, yes, I will do that.
Don't.
I don't have to allow it. It's just a mechanic.
Well,
Don't argue with it.
What's your deal?
because it's a concentration spell, so I
Yeah,
can't.
no, it's fine. Yeah, just concentrate.
Well, you aren't
do
going
it
to be
4
accosted
times.
or anything down there. Yeah, take your.
Like if you stop
10
concentrating,
seconds
does the
of
trench go
concentration.
away?
No, the
What is your
the
deal?
earth will still be moved, won't it?
Yep, sure will.
Okay, yes, sure. Let's go with that.
What is happening here?
Actually,
Nope.
the way I see this, you'd only have to cast a spell one time.
Because it's a concentration spell.
Maybe
Second paragraph.
Maybe I misread
Because
it.
the terrain's transformation occurs slowly, creatures in the area. Oh wait, nope. At the end of every 10 minutes you spend concentrating on the spell, you can choose a new area of terrain to affect. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
So we
it's
just
just gonna
stand for like
take
a
some
half
time.
an
duration is
hour.
up to 2 hours. What What are you talking? What?
I don't
So
know.
every 10 minutes, you get another 40 feet.
Another 40 feet. Yeah. So it would take you, what, 200 feet? What?
5 times.
5 times. Yeah. 5. What's
When you
5?
1
stand
hour.
around for an
It's an
hour.
hour. Yeah, an hour. Yeah. That second
Okay.
paragraph is key.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feed my horse while she's
So you
doing
can
this.
concentrate that. You can concentrate
Brush it
on
off.
for that spell up to 2 hours, but you only need to do it for 50 minutes.
Okay, I do that.
Mischief managed. You guys going to do anything interesting while she's moving the earth and digging the trench? You going to go fuck with any of the zombie guys or kids?
I feed and take care of my horse.
I mean, these zombies probably got like low HP, right? Yeah, so I might go punch zombies.
You might
Just
go punch some
around.
zombies?
Yeah, just
How
wander
many
around.
zombies are you going to punch?
I mean, how many are around?
Probably 30 or 40.
Well, then I punch about 20 of them.
Ooh,
What's your alignment?
as Ari.
Lawful neutral.
Lawful neutral?
Oh no.
Uh-oh, we can see an alignment shift.
Odds or evens?
Odds.
Bad luck. That was a 2. You're now chaotic neutral.
Dope.
You have an alignment shift from pummeling
Hey,
these guys.
Hey, welcome.
Our whole party's gonna end up chaotic neutral, isn't it?
Here I am, lawful good.
Why are
Not-
you with us?
not for much longer.
Yeah. I started off as
Martell's
chaotic
chaotic good.
neutral. Okay. That was my natural alignment. As I see Ari.
Make an insight roll, Ari.
19.
What was that thing that somebody said was probably under the crypt? What did Hades tell you that was? Altar of
Altar.
what? Of
Fuck.
control.
Altar
Altar of
Fine.
control.
Control. So you realize as you're wailing on these zombified guys,
Oh, fuck.
they are not, in fact, undead on their own. They have been mind controlled by this necromancer.
You're just going to punch.
So you're
it.
just going around
Oh
punching
my god, what is wrong
guys
with you?
have no control over their actions, that are mind bent to be these ruthless fight craving. Like, it took their want to fight all the time and like jacked it up to 100, and that was all they were worried about. So you realize, oh shit,
Whoops.
that's an altar of control. They may not actually be undead.
All right.
You're just like,
That's the alignment shift.
like you're going into like a mental hospital just punching.
I would like
Look,
to
they had it coming.
I'd like to try casting Dispel Magic on one of them.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay.
I thought about doing greater restoration and see what would happen.
Go ahead. Cast your Dispel Magic.
It becomes
Like,
more
One of the ones that
rageful.
already knocked out, or one of the ones that are just meandering around?
Preferably,
Adult or child?
let's go with child, one that's awake.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't have punched any children.
I know you wouldn't have punched any children because you said earlier, oh man, some of these are kids. That's not cool. Yeah, I imagine, yeah, I know you would have just punched the adults. And one of the children at the front of the church look at you very intently, and you can see color come back to their eyes, and they immediately get up and start to run over to you crying like they are scared.
Aww.
They see like
Pete doesn't do that,
ash
but Deborah does.
falling all around them. They see zombies walking and meandering around. They see big dragonborn punching people out. They feel the cold air like that's finally around them.
I'm
Now
the dick.
50-degree temperature that's now around them. They are terrified.
Fucked up.
Okay.
Altar of control. Ares
Hey.
told you it was an altar of
Yeah.
control.
Yeah, I
I bet you
listened
even
so
had
good.
that in your notes somewhere.
I probably did not.
I didn't.
Oh, nobody did? Okay.
I may have. Hold on.
Don't worry. You aren't the only one that suffered an alignment shift now. Yeah, it wasn't a bad one. It's just chaotic. It's not like,
Probably be a bit easier
Yeah, you're
for me
not
to
going
play.
from good. You're
Yeah.
not going from good to neutral like I did.
yeah, you didn't go from good to neutral. You went from neutral to chaotic.
Altar of control.
And a little kid like grabs onto your leg and is like, I'm scared. Where is my mommy?
I'm sorry, little one. I don't know that, but here you are safe.
And it doesn't want to let go of you.
What can you tell me? What did you see? What did you hear when you were under this evilness.
I didn't hear anything. I saw you guys walk up to the church. Before you guys, I saw my daddy run outside and fight something that looked like him, but it was a different color and skinnier.
Oh, that asshole.
And then I heard my mommy cry, and then I saw you. I'd just been sitting at the church looking for my dad and my mom.
I look
And
around
this little girl is like snotting and crying.
to see if there's anybody that might look like this little girl.
There is a knocked out guy that looks like could have had a resemblance. Did you kill them, or were
No,
you okay,
just
knocking
punched
him out?
Yeah.
So there's a knocked out guy that looks like who has the same cheek structure as
Still
this little
kinda
girl.
knocking them down
Okay.
so they don't cause problems.
I
for
walk
us.
over to him and then I call out, "Hey, Vince,
Yes.
bring that little girl over here."
Okay. I take her by the hand and walk over to Neve.
And then I ask the little girl, I go, "Does this person look familiar to you?"
And then she looks and she says, I can't see his eyes. I can't tell. He has a birthmark under his arm
Also,
Why does a daughter know?
because the father would carry his daughter and she would always be looking up at him. So she would see a birthmark under his arm.
yeah.
Okay.
And he
So
was
I
naked.
lift up
She
an
was naked.
arm and I
Everyone's
put
naked.
down the sleeve or whatever's there.
Oh, and she says, yeah, that's him. That's my dad.
Okay, that was weird. You didn't recognize my face, but still.
Well, his face is sunken in with no color and there's no
Oh,
color in his
right,
eyes.
because
He's dead.
okay. Hey, can you do that thing you did to her to this guy?
I'll go ahead and cast Dispel Magic again.
Probably nice, yeah. Let's be nice.
And then, does he wake
Otherwise,
up
we're
when
gonna
I
have
do
this
that?
little girl
No, he's
attached
still
to you.
knocked the fuck out.
I'm going to cast Healing Word on him.
Don't cast healing word!
Now
As I
he's
hear
dead.
Vince starting to speak healing words, I'm pretty sure I've heard it before. I'm like, what are you doing? You were the one who figured out that healing things don't work here.
You're right. I
Punch
did
him
figure that
instead. That'll heal him.
Do you not cast healing word?
out. I do not.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Whew. I interrupted you before you finished your spell.
If you punch him hard enough, that'll heal him, though.
Hey,
And
Ari!
everything's topsy-turvy.
Then the little girl sees the color come back to her father's face, and she lets go of you, and she goes over to her. She crawls over to her dad, and she begins shaking him by his shirt. And she's like, "Daddy, Daddy, wake up, Daddy. I miss you. I can't find Mommy. Daddy, wake up." And she's crying and sobbing. It's pretty shitty. Like this little girl's crying over her knocked out
Neith
dad.
can't handle not crying children. Neith cannot handle. Ari!
What up, G?
Where's that the ambrosia that Hades gave you?
You know,
In the water skin.
Yeah.
Where I left
Just-
it.
Okay, will you please give a drink to the guy that you knocked out?
why?
Because Vince, instead of just knocking people out, actually did something of value. And otherwise, we're going to have this little girl attached to us the whole time.
Look,
and that's
that
just
is
going
so
to fuck up
classic
our
Ari
thing.
to be back in School of Ari and seeing these dudes that want to fight. That's classic Ari to go and knock a motherfucker
Yeah.
out.
Okay,
She's
well,
so
not
much
attached to
character.
us. She's attached to her knocked out dad. He's
Well,
fine.
just revive the dad so we can make the crying stop.
All right, I
Please
walk over
make
to the dad.
crying stop.
And I smack him in the face a few times.
It's not gonna give him the goddamn ambrosia.
He can't drink ambrosia
He's
while knocked out. So
You just
smack
you
him a
and
put
then-
little.
some in his mouth.
He groans a little bit and his eyes open.
Hey, wake
and
up.
then his daughter cheers delightfully. Daddy, I've missed you so much. And as she cheers and screams in delight that her dad's woken up, you guys begin to see another 10 or 15 other guys turn towards the little girl and her father and you four
Uh-oh.
and begin to shamble and make their way in your guys' direction.
Protect Jelly. She's making the thingamajig.
Do I see?
Oh, yeah, Jelly, you're underground. That's right.
So I don't see any of
You
this.
don't see it. So you three. Because Bartel's inside air frying undead. You're digging a tunnel to get the water.
to
into the
undercroft.
So the three of you and this little girl and this guy who is slowly coming to, are going to be accosted by about 15 mind-controlled fighters.
How close are they?
They are probably about 30 or 40 feet away, and they are slowly meandering and making their way towards you guys.
Is there a funnel point?
No, it's the town square. There's no funnel point. There is the well that you guys are standing at, and then the road, the main street in Sklovari was pretty wide, wasn't it? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. No, there's no funnel point. Maybe you've never been to Sklovari, but there are a couple different levels to the city. You could go up some steps to another level, if I remember correctly. I think Sklovari went down, and then it also had higher tiers, if I remember correctly. I remember Sklovari being fucking awesome. So, no, where you're at now, there's no funnel point.
Neith gets a big maniacal grin on her face.
Of course she does.
He goes, "Oh, yes!" And I pull out my warhammer, my one-handed warhammer, and I dash towards whichever ones are in front of me.
Sweet.
And
Ari, what are you going to do?
Do a big swing of my warhammer.
I'm just, after seeing Dispel Magic make these people not undead, I'm just going to hang near the father and the daughter and make sure that they don't get eaten by undead.
Nice.
Fake undead.
So you're gonna play
I'm going to protect.
bodyguard?
Yeah.
Nice. Vince?
I want to make a little spark shower about 20 feet in front of me and see, like, pay close attention to see if the shambling individuals turn and look towards that.
React towards it?
Yes.
Sweet. And that'll do us for this episode of Some Would Play. Thanks for listening, everybody. Listen next time as the party gets closer to the saving of Sklovari. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.
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 Thank you for listening to Some Would Play, a production of the Outsanity Network. Join us again next week as the story continues. Find us online at www.somewouldplay.com and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at SomeWouldPlay. Deborah is at Sonyataki. Rico is at R1C0. Daphne is at Dafterthought, and I am Psychedelic M. If you enjoy the show, please tell your friends and share it with others. And remember, in real life, you needn't roll for initiative, so just seize it.